Hello, 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 hello. So, hello guys. Today we're going to be carrying on the story in Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker expansion. I just hit 82. I finished the first dungeon, the Tower of Zot. So, we'll go from here at some point. Thankfully, because I'm in the EU playing on a West Coast server, I usually log in when it's like 5 or 6 a.m. for the server, which is one of the only times I can before the population becomes too dense. So, yeah. We'll see in the future if they add new servers. They said it'll take several months, but yeah. I mean, I'm not looking to leave Sargatanis, I just hope it will alleviate things for other players. Oh, hello, 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 hello. I literally just finished publishing all the videos I recorded yesterday. So, they will still come out once a day, but still. Ugh. I want to stay on top of it. Like I said, I'm trying to make sure that I don't end up with any sort of backlog. Ian, good morning. How are you? So, someone said you can't fly to the tip of that thing. Oh well. Hey, Tanya. How are you doing today? Good, was going to play 14 before KQ, so I said no. Oh, really? I mean, like I said, you are welcome to come to Sargatanis. You know that you have a place in the FC. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why, Tanya, why? Why did you do this? I don't need subs from you. I have your friendship. You already make me rich. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. But, yeah. So, like I said, I am working as hard as I can on everything. You know, all the videos, my gaming news, everything. I'm still trying to grow everything. And in, I think, a day and a half, we have the Game Awards. So, it's always appreciated, though. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, always appreciated. And we've been friends for ages. I'm going to make you VIP. Uh, let's see. VIP. Tanya Rave. There you go. You have the VIP badge. If I could transfer there and keep my house, I would. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, we spoke about that yesterday, didn't we? Hey, Mum. Good morning. How are you? So, Mum, Tanya just gifted 10 gifted subs. So, jeez. Thank you so much. But I am working as hard as I can. Oh, good. Stomach issues? Uh-oh. How come? So sorry to hear it. Yeah, absolutely. I like that with the gifted subs. It targeted a lot of the regulars. Like Joshua and Mimi and Jay and so on. Jamal. I don't want to give the details. Is it something you ate? Saying about the cause, not the not the what not was the result, you know what I mean? I got the shits. And it was so huge I gave it a name. I'm kidding. That's my life. Basically, yeah. What is this? This thingy here. Because I've seen this happen a few times. Like, is it someone blinking? Is it a new ability? I never saw that before. Yeah, I've been seeing it a few times now. I saw it a few times today. I think it just happens when people are, like, rushing and stuff. It's Reaper. Oh, okay. Maybe Reaper, yeah. Ah. So what move are they doing when they cause that? Reminds me, I need to get a bunch of grade 8s. You buy some. I've only been playing my bard, so no idea. Ah, fair enough. I'm working on Sage. Nice. How is it so far? Did these stack to 9999? Oh, they do. Okay. There we go. Nice being rich, isn't it? It's unlocked it. I'm still 70. Yeah, I need to. But like I said, because you know me, I try to focus on one thing. So all I'm focused on at the moment is Paladin and finishing the story. I like this song. I was going to say actually, the mess outside the FC chest, does it just grow over time? Is it just a way of saying that yeah, we've got a lot of stuff in there? But yeah, I mean, I'm only level 80 and I'm able to repair everything, even 81 gear. Yeah, you just have to get the level 8 Dark Matters. That's literally why I came back here. But yeah, look at this. Not unless we have like 20 billion gil in the FC chest. 4.5 million? Okay. Yeah. I'll craft eventually. That's why I set up the crafting area. Anyway, I need to go back to Favnia. So I actually finished and I published all of the story videos I recorded yesterday. So they're all done. I've got videos. Let me take a look. I've got videos until the 12th already like queued up. Not bad. That means that if I record nothing else, I have until the 12th to record something more. Oh, Mum, you should watch my gaming news today. I think you'll like it. I put in a bit of that video just for you. You'll know when you see it. Level 88 now, but not sure how far ahead of story I am. I mean, you're way further than me. Let's be honest. Because I barely hit 82, barely did the first dungeon. So it's what I asked before. Shall I assume that because I just finished the first dungeon, that what's it called? There's going to be a while before I get to the second dungeon. Wherever the second dungeon is. It will take you to level 90. Okay. I'll check in a few. Okay. I did lots of fates and side quests. Cool. Yeah, I'm saving all the side quest stuff for, like I said, the other classes. If I have to do a spare dungeon or two with, like, trust or something, I'll do that. I just like that it's Final Fantasy X architecture. Let's see. Let me just check my my other channels. Give me a sec. Yeah, it seems to be okay. All right, guys. Shall we? Shall I just get on with it? Shall I carry on the story? Sure. Okay. All right. So as per routine, I'm gonna record the story. Any time that I have to go from one place to the other, I'll stop recording and I'll just piece it together later. So reload up the spreadsheet so I can keep an eye on the quest. Okay, so this quest is called the Jewel of Favnia. Cool. This window here. Recordings are. And let's put this window there. It's the thingies. So, as I said, tomorrow there's the, what's it called? There's the, tomorrow night, I should say, is the Game Awards. So it's gonna be a late, I'll probably start later on purpose. Yeah, I'm getting tired of thinking about it. Because the Game Awards don't even start. I think the pre-show starts at like midnight. So, yeah. It's going to be a hell of a long day tomorrow. And I'll record it so that I can throw it on my main channel, but I will probably vastly edit it down in case there's any like boring bits and stuff. Alrighty. So, okay, we seem to be good to go. I can't think of anything else. So I've got the grade 8s. You see, this is like the survival kit for Mithrie. I've got 999 cordials. I've got a bunch of grade 8 and grade 7 dark matters. I've got some high cordials. And I've got a bunch of boiled eggs. These two I could probably get rid of. And I've got a lot of Geisel greens as well. In case I actually do gathering. My bag's almost full, it's so bad. Yeah, I mean, I actually logged in a couple of weeks before Endwalker to make sure my bags were completely empty. I threw everything in the retainer. Oh, that's a point, actually. Do any of you use the app for your authenticator to the game? And is it the same? Is it the Final Fantasy XIV companion app that you can put your authenticator? Because James reminded me of something. Like, I've been using the same sort of physical one-time password thing that came with the A Realm Reborn Collector's Edition like a billion years ago, and his one just ran out of battery, which means that he has to wait for the Square Enix support to remove it from his account before he can do another one. It's a different app that I use. Okay. Let me, I'll sort it out after the stream. Let me put on my to-do list. But I want to switch to the to the app rather than the thingy, because then I don't have to ever worry about it. Okay, let's see. All right. Change authentication. FFXIV authentication to app. Okay, it's on my to-do list. It shows on the page when you're changing your one-time password options. Okay, I'll look into it after the stream. It's something I want to do because I feel it's inevitable that my one-time password will break, and I just don't want that. I've got a million other authentication apps on my phone, so. But before we get started, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Be right back. Take my phone. The light in the bathroom doesn't work. Remember I said the bad news comes in threes? So, because the light on the phone is incredibly bright. Using that. Go back. About the story in a sec. Yeah, but it's actually useful to have that light. In this situation, I do actually need it. Uh-oh, it's raining again. BTs, no. It's like, yeah, don't worry. They won't get you in game, they'll get you in real life. Alright. I want to summon a different minion. Give a second. What's your guys' favorite minion? Look. Fat Cat, maybe? Fat Cat there. Yeah, I've got the Fat Cat. It's been snowing constantly here. Uh-oh. The weather here, I don't know. I haven't gone outside. Alright, chat. I'm gonna start recording the story. So... Okay. So recording in 3, 2, 1. And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be carrying on the main story in Final Fantasy XIV expansion Endwalker. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So we are here at Favnia at 9-9, and we just finished the first dungeon, the Tower of Zot. So let's talk to Thancred. The quest is called the Jewel of Favnia. So Thancred is rested and ready to set out. Had enough rest, have you? You never were one for being idle. Right. Varshan bade us come to Megduta at our earliest convenience. The others will join us there once they have finished tending to the prisoners. Wait, on second thought, you and Estinian should go on ahead. I need to make a quick detour by the Great Work. We left Graha in the alchemist's care, you see. Best to fetch him before he's crammed into a specimen jar. Just you and me, then? The guardsman at the gate should wave us through. Alright. So let's see how far we need to go. Okay, quite a while. So once we get there, we will continue. Alright. Part 1. Here we go again. All this work. I don't mind this because, you know, we do this at the start of every expansion. Oh, Mum, I'm going to DM you. Give me a second. Okay, I sent the DM. Horse chestnut. Okay. I'm guessing that's going to be one of the first items I gather then. As I said, we have an order for things. Finish the story, unlock flying in all the zones, level up gathering, and then level up crafting. That's my order. Seems to make the most sense. And then, if I finish all the crafters and gatherers to 90 and I still am interested in the game, I will, what's it called? I'll see about making some gil, maybe. Because I know it's been like 2-3 expansions now since I even tried to make gil. So I've got 50 million now, which I think is more than enough. But at this point, I could probably make that every day. The amount, like, the prices have gone up. Replied. Okay. Take a look. Alrighty. Oh, and I got a reply from PlayStation. I asked them to send me a copy of the next Uncharted game, and they said they've noted my request and they'll let me know. It's like, oh. Okay, let's carry on. So recording in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we've made it here. So let's talk to the Radiant Guardsmen. So, Honored Scions, you are free to enter at your leisure. As I cannot leave my post, I'm afraid you must make your own way. Should you require directions to the city, the sentry station at the fountain atop the step should be glad to assist you. Alright, let's talk to Estinian. So, though I have been at Radzahan before, this place is a veritable maze. Rather than getting lost, we had best ask for directions from the sentry at the fountain. Lead the way, and don't expect me to act as your tour guide like certain others. Estinian is now accompanying you, keep him at your side. Leave Estinian behind by entering a different area. Okay, so Estinian is going to be following me around for now. Let's see. I don't think I actually... I didn't attune to this place, so let me attune to this and all of the Aephorite shards as well. If you assign to all the Aephorite shards in a new town, then you're able to teleport between them like really easily, which is something that's been true since like a realm reborn since the beginning. Mistress Mithrie, I presume. I understand you are here for an audience with the satrap. If you require directions to Meghaduta, I should be glad to provide them. The satrap's residence is situated in Dharma, the highest part of Radzahan. To get there, I would ordinarily recommend a route that takes you by the bazaars in the city's north. Due to the state of alert, however, most businesses are currently closed and the Aephorite disabled. As such, I'll provide you with an alternative path. First, please ascend the steps next to the fountain, then continue left. There will be more steps. Upon ascending them, you will emerge on Pakaz's Pan, or Paxa's path, whatever. Proceed through the large door to the right and you will arrive at Rayodya Fibers. Within you will find another sentry who will give you further directions. In other words, we head up. Sounds straightforward enough. Fair enough. So, let's take a look at the map. So we need to go up here and go that way. So up these stairs, up those stairs. But I guess I'll worry about the Aephorite and the Aethernet shards another time. So up, up, and up. Okay, here's Paxa's path, as he said. Then do we go through here? There we go. Nailed it. I'm heading to Meghaduta, are you? In that case, please follow this hallway to my right and go through the door at the top of the stairs. You'll emerge at the entrance of the airship landing, where another sentry should be on hand to assist you. Incidentally, if you ascend the steps to either side of me, you'll find workshops of Ru Vida fibers. So you're free to observe the artisans. Take care not to lose your way. Fair enough. So we have to go up these stairs, because that 2 is right. Okay, talk to this guy. If you're here for an airship, I'm afraid all flights have been suspended until further notice. So the state of alert is still in effect. Perhaps it's for the best. That aside, we're not here for an airship. We have business at Meghaduta. Oh, in that case, permit me to direct you. From here, it's quite simple, really. Ascend these steps and then continue straight ahead across the bridge. You cannot miss it. Okay. There we go. Alright, let's talk to Estinian. I remember passing by here with Varshan. The situation being as it was, he regretted not being able to show us the sights. Life has yet to return to normal here, but when it does, you ought to pay another visit. Though the city is confusing, the food is quite good. I am partial to Hamza myself. The meat surprisingly tender and flavorful. Okay. Alright, so let's carry on. It's a nice little town. I need to explore it some more when I get the opportunity. It reminds me of Windurst in Final Fantasy XI. Okay, let's sprint a little bit. Let's attune to this shard while we're here. Alright. Okay, so let's talk to this person. So, greetings and welcome to Megaduta. May I inquire after your business? We are members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, come to at the invitation of His Excellency. Ah, of course, we have been expecting you. I will show you into the audience chamber, if you would please follow me.
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
God, why is he shouting all of a sudden?
Not at all. Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent, in more ways than one.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
Valiant scions, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. You cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence. No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzatan.
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the High Crucible of Alchemia. Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzatan will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
'Tis of no moment. A mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
Or he could talk without moving his mouth.
Albeit brief. My involvement in the Dragonsong War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Nay. When war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydaelyn to whom you must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort. 'Tis a story from my youth, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsummer did reply, 'twas the last bastion of hope. He believed so long as Hydaelyn endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydaelyn does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
Prithee, a moment. There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor, 'tis thee.
Megastop and I have crossed paths, yes. I've not spoken with your father in some time.
In accordance with the covenant he forged with Hydralin, the stewardship of this star hath ever been his purpose. Silence in the face of thine actions is the greatest sign of his approval. 'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsormr's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread. For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, weal enmeshed with woe. Amidst this tangled knot thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou wilt need come the end. Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss. Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go. At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back into my hall, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
Cool. Right, let's talk to Alice. So, what were you and Vitra talking about? Nothing. Very well, if you say so. The others have gone ahead to the High Crucible. Let's catch up with them. Alrighty. The next quest is called The Color of Joy. Alpha Node has a mind to join the others at the High Crucible. The attendant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. First, let's return to the Mulberry Orchard. Alright, let's see if I can get there quickly. Yep. So let's keep it going. So like I said, I do need to explore this place some more with time. All I would say is that this graphical engine is really showing its age. Like, I feel it really needs to be updated. From here, we're supposed to follow the path left and pass the mulberries. Alright. Might be another Aethernet for us to attune to. So let's do that now. Done. Nearly there. Where the street turns, enter the door straight ahead and then descend the steps. I thought the Crystarium was confusing, but it doesn't compare to Radzahan. The architecture and decorations make it even harder to get your bearings. Anyway, let's see where this door takes us. Alrighty. Curious how far we need to go. That's definitely taking us around. Okay, here's the Aephorite. And here's the Aephorite Plaza. So far so good, but there isn't much further to go. From here, we just need to cross to the other side of the hall and then pass through the larger of two doorways. The High Crucible lies beyond. I suspect the others have already collected the warding scales. Come, let us join them. Alright, let's see if I can attune to the Aephorite. That's disabled at the moment. Okay. Okay, so there's a marketplace. I'm sure as a crafter I'll probably come back to that later on. Urion and Fangrid just chilling. We're last, of course, but at least we found the place.
These are the talismans we were promised.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for. Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telophoroid's base of operations. Of course, we would need to consult with various Alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated. To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
We shall share the burden then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Please, I must speak with you.
So she's okay now.
Nidana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption. It seems I'd been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Thavnair from an awful fate.
Sorry, emotion. Yay!
Truly saved whom? Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
The talisman? Is this true? Oh, I was so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it.
Cool.
Look at that! Its color is completely changed.
What do you have there?
It's a flower I stole.
How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is distinct from ether?
Foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts. Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions. Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate. The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities. That is a manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research. Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Nonsense! You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
Shall we depart for Sharlayan then? I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the Annex.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
Okay. So we need to go back to Charlian. Let's go there now. Okay, sorry, I stopped recording. So what is it with these just sort of random half-hour cutscenes? With like no warning. So James, are you in the FC now? It's great, right? Yeah. There's like no warning for it at all. It's like, by the way, half an hour. Anyway, let me write this down. The color of joy. I am. Cool. Alright, let me just kick you out of the FC. Second, right click, kick. This job. I'm kidding. I promoted you instead. How about that? So, yeah. Okay, let's carry on. I'll send Ash a message, tell him I need 25 to 50 million. I don't know what Ash is even doing anymore. Like, I think he's still managing the gardens. But, I think he is, but I haven't got a clue. When it comes to that, like, he might have been taking profits from the FC and the houses for, like, years, and I didn't even ask. So, whoops. Shows how much I care. Alright, let's carry on this quest. Okay. Recording in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we made it back to the Baldassian Annex, so let's talk to Kryl. So, it's good to be back, and with the fruit of our labour safely in storage. For now, we have but to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As Frankrid suggested, you should get some rest in the meantime. Okay, we're going to be shown to an inn, the traditional Final Fantasy fashion. Welcome back, Mithrie. Kryl has apprised me of your recent accomplishments. What an amazing feat to eliminate a tower and pave the way to deal with the rest. While it isn't much, I've changed your sheets and plumbed your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice, clean bed after completing a major milestone. Be it penning a thesis or defeating deformed entities. So, would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now? Sure.
Take heart and protect them well.
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
We joined a website called Deliveroo. Look all the food we got. This is called the Scarface Burger. Nom 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 nom. So she doesn't like gherkins.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you."
Oh.
I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his liking.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Yeah. That I'm a warrior. That's why I do it.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
I'm preparing for battle. Yeah, that's why I eat so much. Yep.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Quile, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done. If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes? Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat-Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt, the relief of a people with renewed hope.
Indeed, and in turn, I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telophoroi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day. Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle. Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume?
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion. They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Oh.
First world problems. Does anyone want that pickle? Are we pushing on until dawn? Shall we call it a night? You do know that these are my quarters.
One last cup of tea, then. Dickon said this brew helps relax the mind before bed. And gave us some leaves for free.
Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that.
Shut up, Meg.
I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled. And I need not tell you by whom.
From now on, he's Meg.
Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No. All else is... equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke. But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame. I basked in the afterglow, until the void yawned once more. And then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn. Burn. Let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
Surprised he's not cut in half by that axe.
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken. for I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
Fair enough. So that's that first part of the story done. We got the trophy on Wings of Hope. So anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye, guys. Yeah, so that was only 2 quests, but that was like 45 minutes of cutscene. That was surprising. Part 3. Alright, I need to edit the video now, there and then. Do it now. One second, please. Okay, so this was... God, story part 10 already. That was quick. Let's see. Get this folder. Open. Alright. That's not right. There we go. And part 3. Alright. Reduce MP4. I get some food in a sec. But thankfully I've already got some in the fridge. That was episode 1556. It's called The Jewel of Favnia. The Jewel of Favnia. Start. It's encoding now. Stand up and stretch. Yeah, good idea. Do that now. I had to let it out. The music in the annex is so good. Yeah. Overall, I like the soundtrack more than the Shadowbringers soundtrack, believe it or not. I think the Shadowbringers soundtrack was more grandiose. It was kind of like... Stand tall. And then by the time we got to Ratika, where... What was it? It was like... Rahi? Rahi? I was like, yeah, this soundtrack is shit. So I think the Endwalker soundtrack is way, way, way better compared to Shadowbringers. Though, Shadowbringers soundtrack was still a step up from the other expansion. Alright, hang on. It's all encoding this video, I think. Okay, let's see if the video's finished encoding. Okay, I think it's done. Okay, let's do the thumbnail now. There we go. It's just so I don't have to do it later. Okay, let's close. Alright. Okay. The cutscenes in this expansion are much longer also. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, in theory, they had a lot longer to get the expansion ready, so they probably had it a certain way and then just added to it as they found they had more time. That's what it feels like. Might as well keep them busy, you know what I mean? Anyway, I've got some food in the fridge, so let me go grab it. Damn it. Oh, I got a tuna and sweet corn pasta bowl. Let's see what that's like. He said that the main story quest will be even longer than the 5.0 one. Yeah, I can imagine. Sure it will be. Especially if they're wrapping up the Idol and Zodiac stories. Because, to be fair, so far, we've barely been introduced to Zodiac. Like, he was mentioned, obviously, in 5.0. But not that much. Like, we haven't seen Zodiac in action. So they need to, like, both show it and finish it. Back in 30 minutes, meeting time. Alright. Mum, how's Sage going? And James, what class are you leveling? Shall I assume Dragoon, if you're called Lance? Working on white page. Ah. Okay. I'm sure you'll have it to 90 before I even get this main class to 90. I'm nearly done, chat. I've got like 20% of it left. Hate when you bite the inside of your cheek. It's like crunch. I wonder what's going to be revealed at the Game Awards. Apparently there's quite a few games which people have never even heard of are going to be announced. See if I get my gift from Jeff Keighley and before then. 16 news, hopefully. Maybe some Zelda game. I mean, they mentioned that there probably will be a follow-up announcement about Breath of the Wild 2. Like a progress report. 16, I've not actually heard a thing. Anything at all. So, if they do, it would be a nice surprise. Right. Why am I getting loads of Twitter notifications? Let me see what's going on. Ah, okay. Is it flipping Halo release day? Yeah, it's Halo release day. That's Halo Infinite. I won't play Halo Infinite. Alright. So I'm going to carry on in a sec. This is some remake for PC, I guess. Yeah. I saw just now as well, they just released a God of War PC features trailer. Anyway, let me just clean this so it doesn't stink up my room, and then we'll carry on the story. We're back. Does that trophy suggest that I'm like 20% or quarter of the way through the story or something like that? Take a look. Quests. Oh, jeez. Maybe not. It's the first of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe we're like a 7th of the way through the story. And 1,000 achievement points. Jeez. Alrighty. Well, let's carry on the main story. Where do we need to go? So, why are so many people crowded around here? That's something I don't understand. 2 of 10 completed. Or Endwalker in other words, yeah. Fuck. There's been a moth just flying around. It's a teeny moth. Been flying around my room now for a couple of days. Like, one, how did you get in here? I don't ever open my windows. Okay, whatever. Alrighty. Cutscenes? Okay. You can see it on the icon on the name. Yeah, no, I know that, but it's like, do these cutscenes last for flippin' hours? Like he's determined to... I think I knocked him out. It's like, you want to beat him off, you do you. Do it somewhere else. Don't fly like right in my flippin' eye line. Alright. Open the window to release it? No, it won't help because I never open my curtains. And it's really small. It's like it's not even a centimeter wide. Basically like an oversized fly. Alright, let's record. So recording in 3, 2, 1. And we're back for another episode. In this episode we're going to be carrying on the main story in Final Fantasy XIV's expansion Endwalker. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So we are here in Old Charlian at 9:11, and we need to talk to Kryl. So the quest is called Sound the Bells, School's In. Kryl and Grahatia were having a pleasant conversation until you barged in. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope. I was about to make my way to the studium as it happens. I wanted to try and speak with Scholark Monty Changler and thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rostra. As it turns out, he'd come here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Favnia. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. Since we're still waiting for Y'shtola and the others, I thought now is the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Sure. Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go ahead to Phenomenon. Considering that my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studium for a while. That might be for the best. If the others should return, I'll tell them we will not be too long. Okay, Let's see what we need to do. So how far are they? Okay, they're just outside. Still up there. Do at least say. So heading out for a stroll. The Scholar himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the Studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphanode of all people worrying over his reputation, and Atar Alma matter no less. Will wonders never cease? You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Okay, and then we have to speak with Kryl, who is right there. So let's go. Okay, I'll start recording for now. Part 1. Oh, what's this called again? Sound the bell school. What spell? I get an F. Schools. Hit. Alright. I hope we don't have to do more reading. I'm like sort of dreading that. I feel like they've taken a lot of inspiration from Final Fantasy X for this game. Or for this part of the game, anyway. Alright, here's Kryl. So let's talk to Kryl. Okay, so recording in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we've caught up to Kryl. Let's talk to her. Here is Phenomenon. While I expect you made note of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. As the center of what would later become the Studium, it was established to promote the study of atheological phenomena, hence the name. Though, with Aether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the Sixth Astral Era, Phenomenon was decreed complete and the Studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority on etherology. The arcane, the occult, the astromancy, and countless other fields, standing proud as Charlian's foremost educational institute. I always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited the same foppish speech, such as his undying love for his old stamping ground. Okay, he was in top form back then, youngest to enter the Studium, graduated with the highest honors in magical arts and etherology, undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on, you both joined the Studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphanode actually entered half a year before me. Nor did I do well enough to graduate with honours. And I am certain not the Studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects, I have ever been in his shadows. If nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alphanode Leveleur began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration that the student body has for Alphanode, and with a bit of luck it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholararch Monty Shang. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wherever he whims to take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. Okay, let's see if we can find the excitable student. Okay, right there. That was Alphanode Leveleur, wasn't it? The Alphanode Leveleur. And he's with his sister and Master Baldassian's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. Oh, sorry. You said that you're looking for the Scholararch, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere. But Miss Alipo should have a better idea. Okay. And the merchant's in here. Let's just randomly wander around. Okay, here's Miss Alipo. Are you lost? Wander in off the street, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is an order. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the Studium? That's right, books. And what's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal with in here at Searcher's Meet. Whenever these students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Pasai this, tongue of giant toad that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end, which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish. This being a school of magic and all. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. The only thing I'm interested in gleaning is information of the Scholararch's whereabouts. I tracked down many miscellaneous knickknacks in my time, but I'm no gleaner. I beg your pudding. You're not a gleaner? Then this was all an elaborate ruse? No, wait, come to think of it, you never actually claimed to be one in the first place. Why mistake? He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to make us meet. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see him on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios. Not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. Lol. In the time it's taken me to tell you all of this, the Scholararch has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I've a feeling you'll need it. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, let's see if we can find this guy. Let's speak to the level-headed student. Okay, here he is. Yes, the Skolok was here for a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps to one of the auditoriums? Okay. So we're basically just gonna work our way through this place trying to find this guy. Maybe he's in the next room. Ah, there he is.
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the Annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
Okay.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Yay, how exciting.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology.
Can I go home now?
The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
I left it under my bed. Let me just go home and get it. Superior Aether, magic.
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The seventh Umbral Calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean.
Says what? Welcome to the what?
Our memories drift apart and dissolve. Rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable. Well, I think that's enough education for today.
now that I've given you some food for thought? Or rather, an entire banquet? I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
P.S. Homework. Cool. It's complete. So you've been granted the run of Phenomenon. For your game, Ki Alipo would put your artisanry to good use. Okay, let's talk to Kryl. The next quest is called A Capital Idea. So Kryl is still digesting a rather hefty portion of food for thought. Well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though that we're one step closer to understanding the forum's true motives. The mysteries of life itself, for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in the days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way, you could better acquaint yourself with Ki Alipo at the Scholarak suggested while I share our findings with Raha. Fair enough. So let's go back to Grahatia at the annex. Okay, I've stopped recording for now. It's like, yep, there's another 20-minute cutscene. So like I said, for the people that just did skip cutscene through all this section, they might not have realized that the last two quests saved them like nearly an hour of cutscene by just clicking skip. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's go to the annex. I'm gonna DM you again, man. Alright. Okay. And I think the next episode of Thingy might be out today. The Hawkeye. Because they've released a review of it. I just saw it pop up on my phone. Alrighty, let's take a look. Yeah. I wanted to stop. So yeah, okay. Let me get up and stretch, and then we'll carry on. Hello. Hey, Rabido, how you doing today? Or Rubido? So, I do actually have a pizza in the fridge, which I'm going to put in the oven rather than order takeout today. God forbid. You're good, thanks, and you? Yeah, I'm good. Just taking my time through this story. Reminds me, I think I got a new piece of gear. Yeah. Got new stuff. Let's just take a break, chat, because these cutscenes are quite long. I need to take my time. Are you playing this game? I would say overall that I am enjoying Endwalker so far more than Shadowbringers. I mean, Shadowbringers was good, but I just feel this is better. I felt like all the issue with the first and all this other stuff, Alternative Dimension, was almost like we're running out of ideas, or we need to delay before we do the finale in Endwalker. Currently stood around the 8th right in Charlie and Sarg. Oh, you are? Fair enough. Yeah, what's it called? Because I've been recording all the story to throw it onto YouTube. And, yeah, that's why, that's also part of the reason why it's taking so damn long. And also the server queues. Like, how have the server queues been treating you these days? I mean, thankfully, when I log in these days, it's like 6 AM on the server, so the queue is basically non-existent at that time. Play a queue in the UK? I'm in the UK. Okay, cool. Good. So it's sort of like, for once, being in the UK playing on a US server is actually a good thing. It's actually useful. Are we cheating the system? Yeah. Most of the time it doesn't fare well. There's usually some issue. My IRL friend said EU was hell with 10,000. Yeah, literally one of my friends he made a character on Sarg because he said he was done with the 9,000 queues on EU. So in a minute. So many notifications today. Just jumping around because just because. What class are you leveling up? I'm sticking with Paladin as my main. After I finish the story and Paladin to 90, I'm going to unlock flying in all the zones, then level up the Gatherers to level 90, then level up all the Crafters to level 90. And the next class I'll do after Paladin will probably be Reaper. Scholar is 90, and Sage is... I'm assuming you mean 88. Yeah, 88. Cool. Whereas me, Mr. Slow, Captain Slow, I'm 82.5 on my main. It's fine, I took my time with the story. Yeah. I'm taking my sweet time. I'm savoring every second of it. Because the thing is, once we finish the story, then that's it. Then it's just a case of just level other classes and wait for 6.1. I didn't see much, I enjoyed it too much. Yeah. For me, I'm always looking at the longevity of YouTube. Like, YouTube doesn't make much money there and then for a new video, but it makes a lot of money over time. If I do the videos right now, they could generate money for me for the next decade. I think that is very important. Is that with YouTube, it's to think about the long term, not to think about the immediate. But yeah, like I said, I am enjoying it so far. And the first dungeon, that Tower of Zot, the last boss against the Magus Sisters, that was just literal chaos. Like, the whole screen was just like, you can't stand basically 95% of the screen. You can only stand here. By the way, chat, I don't know if any of you are into the MCU stuff on Disney Plus, but me and Mum yesterday started watching Hawkeye TV show. It's really, really funny so far. It's really good. Liked it way more than Agent Carter. The boss is funky, yeah. And I was like, I got the Triple Triad Maga Sisters card like on my first attempt. Though I don't know if everyone gets it. Yeah, and I've done all the beast tribes for the previous expansions. I'm up to date with the beast tribes. Like, I would like to think that eventually this will be all 90, but hey, I thought it would be all 80 during Shadowbringers. That didn't happen, so we will see. If I keep doing like a couple of hours a day, every day, then it'll happen before you know it. And again, like I said, that's why I'm savoring the story, because eventually the story will be gone, and then it will just be grind, grind, grind. I'm waiting as well for tomorrow for the Game Awards, because we'll see if they announce anything or if that's interesting or not. Second chat, I need to check something. Just remembered I need to do something. The problem when you run like 6 YouTube channels. Okay, cool. Right, let's close all that. Put that over here. Okay, how long has we recorded for this episode? We have done 23 minutes so far. Okay. Yeah, I only watch it for the announcement. Yeah, same. I was saying that because someone messaged me saying that they love watching it for what do they love watching it for? Like, yeah, to find out who the award winners are. And I'm like, that's the last reason I watch the Game Awards for, because the winners tend to be. It's like watching the Eurovision Song Contest. Like, sometimes the winners feel political. Very rarely do they feel deserved. When an award is actually given to someone who deserves it, then I'm like, wow, amazing, the right person won. But most of the time, it's so political. Feels like it's paid. Yeah. Not saying it is, though. No. But it's just a case of, yeah, I tend to watch all these shows, whether it's the Game Awards or E3 or what's it called? Gamescom or whatever. I watch all of them for the new trailers, not for the awards. Like, Game of the Year this year, I don't know. There's been so many amazing games. So many games deserve it. So it's difficult. There isn't like a clear winner for me for Game of the Year. And if I could, I would have given Game of the Year to Death Stranding. But obviously that came out 2 years ago. But I only just finished it recently. Any 2022 releases that you're looking forward to? I'm assuming it's going to be 2022 will be Final Fantasy XIV. God of War Ragnarok. You know, the next God of War. Horizon Forbidden West. I'm looking forward to. In January, we're going to get, hopefully, the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection. So I am looking forward to revisiting that as well. Dying Light 2 in, I think, February. And then we'll see if we get the next-gen release of Cyberpunk 2077. Because I only played Cyberpunk for maybe half an hour. Or maybe between half an hour and an hour. And I stopped playing because it was so buggy. So I want to play it really officially when it's on PlayStation 5. I'm waiting to play Cyberpunk. So, I mean, that's my list for now. I'm trying to think what else. I doubt we're going to get any news about 7 Remake Part 2 for next year. It'll probably be announced next year, but it probably won't come out until the year after. It would be my guess. I don't think I'll play Cyberpunk. Yeah, I mean, I do want to play it one time at least. So, I want 7 Remake on PC. But it's not going to happen. I thought they were already working on 7 Remake on PC. Didn't I put on my gaming news? Hang on a minute. Remake PC. Yeah, I reported it like 3 months ago. It's coming to PC. Yeah, take a look at that video. Oh, well, it says rumored. Rumored to be coming to Epic Games Store. But the rumor was based on a leak. So, we will see if it comes to Epic Games Store at some point. Yeah. We're hoping as well, because Dying Light, the first one, is supposed to be getting a PlayStation 5 patch. So, we're hoping the patch comes out before number 2, so that we can co-op number 1 again before number 2 comes out. The Dying Light is stressful solo, but it's really, really fun in co-op, as you probably know. But yeah, you should subscribe to my gaming news. I release gaming news every single day, 7 days a week. So I release... Basically, my videos include basically 3 pieces of gaming news that most interested me that day, and I love making them. I make them first thing in the morning. They usually go live at around 2 PM UK time. Just dropkick everything, yeah. Except for the flippin' nightmares, when they are controlled by other players and they chase you around at night. But yeah, my gaming news, I find it really fun because I do care a lot about games, obviously. And it's by reading it to make videos, I'm reading... Because I choose 3 stories which most interested me. But on average, I'll probably read 20 to 30 per day to pick the 3 that are most interesting. But it keeps me informed of what's going on in the gaming industry. And then I try and just pass on that knowledge to everyone else. And to be honest, I am actually looking forward to Lies of Pi. You know, this sort of Pinocchio / Bloodborne type game. That actually looks really good. And at some point, I mean, they already came out, but we want to check out the Dark Pictures anthology, because we've not played yet Man of Medan or House of Ashes or any of those games. But apparently you can co-op them. So at some point we'll probably co-op through those games just to see what they're like. Halo Infinite, Halo Infinite. Yeah, I'm getting so many Halo Infinite notifications at the moment because obviously it comes out today. But I've not played Halo since Halo 2. So, and I bought Halo Reach and I never played it. And the thing is, with games like that, like, I love playing the single player, I love playing the campaigns, but most people these days just want to play the multiplayer. And I'm really not into the multiplayer of these games. Like, I actually thought the single player campaign of Vanguard, even if though it was short, I thought it was quite cool. I thought it was nice. It was fun to watch, because I watched Lyric play through the whole thing. But now everyone's just about multiplayer and cheaters and anti-cheat software and all this other stuff. I sort of like, yeah, I'm not going to bother with Vanguard. Not worth it. And I did, like, if you go onto my Let's Play YouTube channel, you can see I've played like 20, maybe between 20 and 30 games this year. I played a lot of games this year. So, and some of them really do stand out, like Kenna Bridge of Spirits was incredible. People complain that the multiplayer for Vanguard feels just like Weapon EXP grind for Warzone. Yeah. I'm not into those games. I really am not. Like, I need a story behind what I'm doing with any game. Because I need a purpose for what I'm doing. Like, the purpose of this game. We're trying to stop the Guardian Empire of destroying the world. The purpose of Death Stranding, to save the world. The purpose of Kenna Bridge of Spirits, to release all the spirits so that they can rest in peace. And so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. So, I like purpose to everything I'm doing. Alright, I think that's enough idling. Let me carry on the story. But yeah, I think 7 Remake will come to PC. I think it's a matter of when, not if. Okay, so recording in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we made it back to the annex, so let's talk to Graha. Ah, welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the Studium proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow Scions. As expected, news of the Warding Scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked we bring the scales in our possession to Limsa Lominsa. So the times have come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Valbran. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? Phew, I didn't realize that these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Vitra and the alchemists of the great work put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the forum's watchful gaze, I've little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here, do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn, I can feel it, to Limsa. Okay. So we have to go to Limsa? Right there. So let's just teleport, because it's close enough. Been a while since I've been to Limsa. It tends to be the busiest place on this server. Yeah, you see a lot of people idly stand by in Limsa. I'm not actually sure why. I don't know what they gain by just standing there. But each to their own. Let's carry on. So, I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral at present is entertaining the Elder Seedseer and the Sultana. 3 of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? Let's go. My apologies for calling you away from Charlian at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honoured and grateful, and presently surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. It was only the right thing that this discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the tower, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn that we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? We're going to write them a letter. It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlian, the allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge in abductions of kobolds, Sahagin, Ixal, and Anata have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph in Radzahan has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace. And it is you, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us a way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telepharoi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Isilbard contingent. To think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered, robbed of their free will. They serve the Telepharoi's every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I ask only that, in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, or without them there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. On that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Urianger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there is reason to believe that the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what is yet to come. Until the Tower of Zalt was toppled, we'd failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Telepharoi. They're certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the Spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Y'shtola's analysis of the tower's influence of ethereal currents. Based on her observations inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon aether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of aether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure that it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good, but what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Isilbard contingent. I consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. For honor and glory, for the people of Garlemald, for the revenge against the Telepharoi. Couldn't have put it better myself. Yasholda, Fankrid, and Yurionche have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warding scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Isilbard. Roman and Lord Aymeric are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs, and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telepharoi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. Cool. Alright, so we need to go to Alamigo. So, once we get there, we will continue. Alright, stop recording for now. Part 3. I do like that that was less than 10 minutes. And yet so much happened. Minute. 33 minutes, okay. Let's see. I'm gonna make a chat. Alrighty. Alright, let's carry on. At least we can actually fly in this zone. At least now things are actually starting to pick up. Because I was, at the very beginning... Ruby Doomsday? Whatever that is. At the very beginning, I was actually starting to get bored. With the whole, like, read, what's it called? Read the books in the library and all that route. Okay. Oops. Wrong scene. Alright, let's talk to Roban. So recording in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we made it to Alamigo, so let's talk to Roban. Ah, the Wanderer's return. You've been busy bringing down the tower and producing the keys to destroy the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding scales of yours are what's made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Aymeric be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Isilbard contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid upon Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. So sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side, charging into the fray. Alas, I have battles on my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. Hate to say it, but Lord Aymeric's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Isilbard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Word of your exploits travels quickly. From what I gather, the protective talisman you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one. That being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So you're not coming with us? Strange, I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Telephroi have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every more of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varys and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the Isilbard contingent, it will give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. We will deliver your people from harm in your stead. I doubt they'll be pleased to see the champion of yours set foot on Garlean soil. A fair point, but so long as you refrain from announcing your arrival to all and sundry, the average person should have no inkling as to your identity. Although your titles and deeds are common knowledge, only a select few would recognize you on sight alone. Perhaps one day they'll learn that the Warrior of Light is not a demon to be feared, but a woman deserving of their trust. In light of Gaius's rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have deflected the political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask that you escort our friends inside? You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two. And if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you, all of you. Cool. That's complete. Alright, I think that's a good time to stop because there was quite long cutscenes in that episode. But anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye, guys. Okay, sorry, I stopped recording. Part 4. Okay, let me edit that video there and then. Second. Okay. So this quest was called Sound the Bell Schools In. This quest is called Best of the Best. Alrighty. Let's edit that video. I think the stream will be a lot more fun to watch when I'm actually done with the story. And then I can just interact with you guys the whole time. Part 3. Part 4. Produce. MP4. Okay, episode 1557. Called Sound the Bell School In. Okay, start. Okay, it's encoding now. What time is it? 6 PM already. Okay. I think I've got it in me to make one more video today, and then I'll call it. Because like I said, tomorrow is going to be a long stream. If we're going to watch the Game Awards. I'll probably start a little bit later tomorrow, so that we can go through till midnight. But we'll see. Or I might just take a rest. After, like, I'll play 14 and then I'll take a rest, and then before the Game Awards I'll go live again. We will see. What are you guys up to at the moment? Yeah, let's close that. So open that. Okay, now it's finished rendering. Let's take a look. Did it encode properly? Yeah, it seems like it did. Okay, get a screenshot. Take screenshot. Okay. Pictures. But I'm taking the screenshot of the episode now, so I don't have to do it later, basically. Let's see. Okay, tell you what, let me just get up and stretch, and then we'll start the next episode. I'm back. Alrighty, let's play. Let's delete. Okie dokie. Alright, so as I say, chat, last episode of the day, and then I'm gonna go. So that I don't exhaust myself before tomorrow. Alrighty, so let's record. So recording in 3, 2, 1. And we're back for another episode. In this episode we're going to be carrying on the main story in Final Fantasy XIV's expansion, Endwalker. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So we are here in Alamigo in the locks at 3631. And we need to talk to Maxima. So the quest is called Best of the Best. Maxima would have you meet your new traveling companions. The other members of the Isabar contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you are ready. Okay. Let's talk to this person. The remaining members of the Scions, your friends, and most of the Isabar contingent await within. Would you like me to see you through? Sure.
By the 12.
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsabard contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Lucia.
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention.
Wow. I've interacted with all these people at one point in the past.
Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must. I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer, we shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort. Of course, with an experienced white mage such as yourself accompanying us as well, those requiring more involved treatment will be in safe hands. Raya O sends her regards, by the way.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughingstock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship.
It sounds British to me.
So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but a promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do. Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front. It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield. From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the Avatar of Destruction. With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Lord Emanolaine?
Ah, yes. Emanolaine de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that. But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
May your graceful prancing lead the way to victory. I dare say your fancy footwork may be all that stands between us and certain doom.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroa with my tales of daring do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea.
Like, yeah, we're doomed.
Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a step is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Maxima, who stands with us today,
tried to reform Garlemald from within and make peace with Doma. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good.
Greater good.
It won't be easy. But we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garlond Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us, so it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Or the Horde. Sorry, wrong game. Cool. Let's talk to your Stola. So, besides the delegates assembled here, the Amalja and several other tribes offer to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climate of Isilbard. That would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Telophoroi. All things considered, they can better rate the cause by bolstering our defences in Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding scales to our comrades. Care to do the honours? Cool. Alright, so now we're giving out the wards to everyone. So Lucia, warding scales for the Ishgardian delegation, I take it? Yep, there you go. So it says, these enchanted talisman, or should that be talisman, would probably require considerable less time and effort to produce if the alchemists of the great work were not so preoccupied with making them look pretty. Many thanks. These talisman may prove to be the deciding factor in the battles to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray into Garlemald, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard, only to throw in my lot with those whose secrets I was supposed to be stealing. And now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betrayed. But that is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Aymeric. He would have me put my sense of knowledge and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large, I will lead us to victory. Okay. Let's give it to Ida. So, that a set of warding scales I spy. Not that I would know what they look like. Let's hand over. So, wow, look at these. Even a layman like me can tell that they're bursting with aether. All the better to fend off the tempering waves. Is that the term? Anyway, these will give us one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Garlemald. Only one way to find out, eh? And nervous or not, I'd march through all 7 hells if it gave me a chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. Okay, next. Sick hard. I hear you've got something for us, Governor. Alright, let's hand this over. Ah, them scales everyone's been talking about. Pretty little things, ain't they? Reckon they'll be worth a gill or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. And one more thing, I know what you're all thinking. Why didn't they send Ezenzar instead? Buggered if I know. All the Admiral and Captain Helfar told me was that they needed someone to help safeguard the future, and here I am. Can't say that they haven't got a sense of humour. Of course, some of you might be wondering what good a pirate is on dry land, in the middle of the sodding snow of all places. Well, me and my crew do whatever needs doing, so let's set sail, or however the saying goes on airships. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I might have sent you just because you're expendable. Okay, let's talk to Everyone Senna. Yes. Let's hand over the scales. So, these are the famed warding scales. Enough for me and my men, I see. I myself am especially grateful for this opportunity to visit distant lands. I wish to follow in the footsteps of Master Otoya and learn all there is to learn of this star we all call home. Instead, that's the primary reason I volunteered to join the expedition. The journey outside the Twelves Wood, much less enter into Imperial territory, is a rare privilege afforded a Pajal. Not now tagging along to see the sights, the Garleans would benefit from my healing magics, as would our comrades should fighting break out. Okay, and then last but not least, Sinner. So we heard that it would be cold in Garlemald, so we came prepared. Oh, we've got one left after this. Oh, the talisman. We are to keep these close at all times, yes? I will see that no one misplaces theirs. And before I forget, I have a message from Hian. In distant lands, in times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life, the fire of life. I hope I have done his words justice. Doma, like much of Ophard, has been plagued by the towers. Yet while he could not be here, he wished to express his shared conviction. Hian and Yugiri labour without rest to unite the people, and with their aid will keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe and the Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. Okay. Then let's deliver a scale to Maxima. You have a warding scale for me too? Yep. Last one. Thank you for this, and for going to such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Though I have little to offer in return, I would impart some advice. If I may, you have been told by many to ward the cold of Isilbard, and I cannot stress this enough, that this is no token warning. I will be distributing specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist Guild, but understand that they are not suitable for proper protection. I leave the provisioning of said protection at your discretion. Now let us proceed to the Alabeacon Quarter. While you make your final preparations, I will have the pilots ready the airships. Cool. Alright, so let's talk to Master Alphanode. So this is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. you needn't worry about Urianger and I. We still have what we wore in Garlemald beforehand. Istinian's claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spent a fair bit of time up north recently as well, I have no reason to doubt his words. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided that you're not overly concerned with style. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats. If only I had time to find something to my liking. Hark, is that the cry of the scions in need of a tailor, I hear? Huh. Hello. But how? I have my ways. Oh yes, indeed. You thought you could sneak off to Isambard without telling me? Nothing escapes my notice. Now, you're aware these garments are made for you whether you like it or not. Never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit as well? Wait, are you coming with us? What? No, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion, rather the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creations if I never worn them myself? I did have one other thing to share. Armigus and Bloomweeder have finally returned from assignments in faraway lands. They'll be staying at the Rising Stones for a while to keep an eye on events throughout Eorzea. Since they'll be returning things back at headquarters, I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Charlian? Why not? You can keep Kryl company in the Baldassian Annex. Yes, we'd love to have you there. And I heard Armigus and Bloomweeder did a fine job carrying on in our stead while we were lying comatose. With them in charge at the Rising Stones, we've nothing to worry about. My thoughts exactly. Also, while I'm confident you won't go collapsing again, because a certain someone who shall remain nameless isn't in a position to transport your souls to another world, if anything similarly disastrous was to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I've got a few things to take care of, and then I'll make my way to Charlian. I really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Garlemald. It's not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you, other than pray for your safe return, which I will, every day. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. Cool. Okay, that quest is done. So let's now go do the next quest. Okay, let's talk to Tataru. The next quest is called A Frosty Reception. Tataru is desperately trying to retain her composure as she prepares to see you off on another perilous journey. I'm told the airship pilot has been sent to meet you. Ah, there he is. Alright, this is where we go our separate ways. Do be careful, won't you? Okay. Uh-oh, we have a fight. So it's an honor to finally meet you. We of the Garland Ironworks will be ferrying you to your contingent across the mountains into Garlemald. For many of us, it will be something of a homecoming. Our illustrious founder was only our most notable Imperial defector. For that reason, the company is committed to the success of this expedition. Our resources are at your disposal, and if there is all we might do to be of further assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. If we are ready to depart, I will ready the engines. On boarding the airship, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in order. In addition, you'll be required to participate in battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points. In the event that you are defeated, you will be able to try again from the most recent of these. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, this progress will be lost. Fair enough, fair enough. So let's go. Okay, where are we going?
Ilsabad, divided in twain by a vast mountain range. Those who would traverse its jagged peaks face peril at every step. But why go by foot when one can simply fly?
That's...
On the outskirts of the Imperial capital, in the frozen wastes of the Magna Glacius, the winds howl in icy protest, as if to warn against further trespass.
It's obvious who goes to the gym and who doesn't.
We've received word from Thancred's reconnaissance party. They've sighted a detachment of heavily armed Imperials.
Survivors of the Civil War, perhaps?
Perhaps, but there is more to it than that. Maxima reports that they are led by Vergilia, legatus of the 3rd Legion, which comprises the bulk of their number. However, they are also joined by several members of the 1st.
From what I recall, the 3rd Legion fought for Nerva in the War of Succession following Varus' death. The 1st, on the other hand, were under the direct command of the Emperor and rejected Nerva's claim to the throne. These legions were enemies.
Indeed. In fact, our sources claim that it was a conflict between them that sparked the Civil War. Yet now, these former foes cooperate to defend a ruined Garlemald from invasion.
Then it is all but certain they have been tempered.
So, what's the plan? If me and my crew is out reaving, we charge straight in, no messing about. But that ain't what we're here for.
Quite right. Soldiers or no, they are people of Garlemald, the very ones we have come to aid. Direct confrontation is unavoidable. Nevertheless, we must make every effort to limit casualties on both sides. Rather than kill them, I would remove them from the field.
How so? Savage beatings, disarmament, and imprisonment? Not impossible, but easier said than done in the heat of battle.
Having observed the opposition, I imagine Thancred had something to suggest?
He did. He and the other scouts have already infiltrated a supply depot some distance beyond the Imperial detachment's current position. Stored within is a stockpile of Magitech armaments, and once we give the signal, Thancred's team will destroy them all. In so doing, we will deprive frontline troops of materiel, and likely force the detachment to send men to investigate.
Divide and conquer. Not a bad idea.
Once the scouts have finished their preparations, we will split into 2 groups. The first will form the vanguard, while the other brings up the rear with our supplies. As for the Scions, I ask that you lend your assistance where you deem it needed most. I would prefer, however, that you accompany the rearguard and be prepared to join the van at a moment's notice. Kept in reserve as our trump card, so to speak.
Meanwhile, somewhere else.
Your proposal was well received. More specifically, they asked that we destroy the Imperial's toys in as spectacular a fashion as possible.
Pistola always did have a flair for the dramatic. She's not an easy woman to please, but I shall do my best to satisfy her thirst for fireworks. All right, once more for my peace of mind. Our first objective will be to rig the enemy's Magitech with explosives. After we've withdrawn to a safe distance, we'll detonate them remotely. Our second will be to issue a deactivation command to the automated units via the control terminal. If our calculations are correct, this signal should reach those deployed on the front line, giving our friends a much-needed upper hand. The blizzard will help us stay hidden, so let's aim to get in and out before it passes. Trust in the plan, and we should all live to see tomorrow.
In the meantime, I will relay messages back and forth as the situation unfolds. You'll forgive me if I ask again, but are you certain you wish to play the lone wolf?
Wouldn't have it any other way. Call it foolish and reckless if you like, but I'll get the job done. I always do.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck.
Are we going to control different characters? Okay. Yep, so we're controlling Thancred for now. Assuming there is nothing you wish to confirm, we may commence submission as soon as you're ready. Commence mission.
Keep your wits about you.
It's time. We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count.
Okay.
Seven hells.
I mean, I leveled up. I leveled up Gunbreaker, but I can't remember the rotations. Okay, I deal with this.
Damn, spotted.
I mean, I'm not even trying to hide. Think of that. They're all dead, then don't have to worry.
Seven hells.
Apparently that bomb didn't work. Done. Oh, I guess I need to put the bombs.
Seven hells.
all the way. Right.
Must be losing my touch.
I tried. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way. Oh.
Damn, spotted.
Yeah, I just realised that the threat awareness level is going up a lot. Maybe I shouldn't have done it this way. Okay.
Must be losing my touch.
I mean, to be fair, that Magitech just wouldn't go away. I am so dead.
Not like this.
Oh well. Gonna be editing this video. So set it to normal. Serenia, thank you for the sub, I appreciate you. I'm gonna be editing the video, so don't worry. Okay, let's commence submission. Let's go.
Keep your wits about you.
It's time. We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count.
Okay, so let me actually sneak.
Seven hells.
Okay. Trying to think. Like, when is the best time to go?
Damn, spotted.
On the corner. But... I think I was literally one hit away from dying. So let him recover his health. And then we'll try and sneak. Okay, his health is nearly fully recovered. Guard dog over there. The guard dog is incapacitated. Okay. And so far, so good.
This is Thancred. The explosives are in place.
Very good. All is proceeding as planned. Head to the control terminal. It should be to the northwest.
Understood. Have the others wait at the rendezvous point.
Okay. Somehow they didn't see me. I don't know how that happened. Oh, this Magitech might see me. Okay. He saw me.
Spotted.
I guess that was the best I could do. For some reason, that slasher just doesn't see me. Okay, we've disabled those. Going the right way? Or shall I just leave? I got it. I went completely the wrong way.
You are returned, and none the worse for wear, to my considerable relief.
What news from our comrades?
They stand at the ready.
Excellent. Then let the fireworks begin.
A few months later, at the Isabel continued supply caravan.
The blizzard's beginning to clear. The Vanguard should be engaging the Imperials any moment now, if they haven't already. Ishtola and the others are with them, so I'm sure they'll be all right, but... Wait! Something's coming!
Looks like we ain't the only ones who sent out scouts. Keep them away from the carriages! We lose those, and we're as good as dead!
No pressure.
Fighters! Protect the others!
Maybe I could summon my Chocobo.
A brief respite, but stay alert. Keep the carriages safe.
Everyone healed up.
What impeccable timing! Fear not, friends! The savior of Ishgard is here!
Mithrie's famous war cry. Okay, done.
A fine display, but the other carriages are still in danger. Go on ahead. We'll hold the line.
Okay.
We're the only ones still struggling. Time we put our backs into it then. I've been itching for a good scrap.
Done. Okay, last one. Of course. Done.
You lot all right back there? We're fine and ready for more.
Okay.
Hear that? Get to the front and turn the tide!
And north and join the Vanguard. Oh. That's fun. Meanwhile, on the front line.
Removed from the field was not a euphemism for enthusiastically murder.
It's nothing that won't heal in time. The trouble is, their tempering has made them utterly fearless. Subduing them would be easier if they had the capacity to submit in the first place.
Well, this is the path our young charges would have us walk, and that we all agreed to follow. You knew it would be hard, yet still you pledged your lance, did you not?
That I did.
Okay, we're gonna play as a Sinian. We're gonna play as Lee's. That could be anyone.
That's for Gilia. Damn it. I need to help the others take her down.
There's no end to them!
I was wondering when you'd turn up. There's no stopping us now. Come on, let's show them what we're made of.
Cool.
We have them now! Forward!
At least Mithrie can actually heal.
Right! Let them have it!
Oops, sorry. Wrong button.
As a raging bull!
Okay, so far so good.
That's her! Virgilia!
Do not fall behind!
I mean, I don't exactly feel like a hero if I'm doing it. It's like, was it 7-on-1? Is this Virgilia's very powerful?
Is everyone all right?
Okay, so she's using potions.
Heal or die!
Done. There's a lot of fights in this which are just utter chaos. And we saw it in Temple of Sword as well.
Before the sun!
Very cool. Fair enough.
A worthy adversary. Rest, recover, reclaim yourself. Then we will fight again, to the death.
Sadu Hatun.
Rejected.
That was the last of them. The day is ours, thanks to your timely arrival. What of the supply caravan? Outmaneuvered, but not outmatched. Good. Let us take the Imperials into custody and rejoin our comrades. And soon we shall arrive at the capital.
So cold and unforgiving. Thus spoke Emperor Solus as he gazed upon his barren domain. 800 years it had been since the Garleans first set foot here. Bested by the Kovosi after centuries of war and driven from fertile southern pastures into the blasted northern wastes. In that garden of desolation, they clung to one another for warmth, freezing, hungry, desperate, hated. The chosen forsaken. In the year 1513 of the 6th Astral Era, a young legatus named Solace single-handedly sparked the Magitech Revolution. How did he conceive the machina that feed on ceruleum? Once a common, soft-spoken soldier, how had he so quickly ascended through the ranks? Like so many others, those who knew the truth are gone. Taking in the capital with his eyes for the first time, I recall thinking to myself, far colder on the earth than in the heavens. Yes, far colder indeed, bitterly so.
Finally made it to golden mode after 8 years.
Not so much as a whisper.
The roads leading beyond the city walls would have been used less in recent years. Nevertheless, this was one of the most important gateways into the capital.
A buzz day and night with activity, aye. Merchants passing through the checkpoint, many of them stopping at the local hostelries.
Surely they cannot all have been tempered.
We can consider the question after we have made camp. If we spend any longer outside, we may well freeze to death where we stand. The tempered Imperials, too.
This will be our temporary base of operations. Secure shelter for ourselves and the injured, and dispatch scouts to survey the surrounding area.
If we're planning on staying here a while, we ought to give this place a proper name.
Well, the constant sound of ice cracking underfoot makes me think of broken glass. An apt name, perhaps. But enough of this. To work, everyone!
Interesting. Okay, so let's tune. Literally waited 8 years to come here. Let's talk to Alpha Node. So, in spite of the obstacles we face, our plan proceeds apace. Just a little further, and we will reach the capital itself. Still, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. As soon as the camp has been made fit for purpose, we are to discuss a course of action with Lucia. Would you mind asking Y'shtola and Graha to join us in that building, the northeast of the camp? Elise and I will meet you there. Okay. A meeting, yes. I'll make my way over once my head has cleared. In truth, I've been feeling out of sorts since we arrived. The air is thick with a palpable aura of malevolence. 'Tis a monstrous tower on the horizon, jagged, hideous, unholy. Even at this distance, its presence is overwhelming. Much like the sensation I felt in the Tower of Zor, only far more terrifying. Aether flows unceasingly towards it, converging into a swirling mass of unfathomable power. For a blessing, the constant chill in the air is helping to anchor my senses in the here and now. Tell the others I shall be with you in a few moments. Okay, then let's find Grahatia. Standing over there. You'll be pleased to know most of the Tempered have been quartered inside the nearby buildings and are receiving treatment as we speak. I do, however, feel no small amount of guilt for the commandeering civilian homes. The occupants may be long gone, but everything is exactly as they left it. Considering the length of time that has already passed since, one would expect to find them ransacked. Strangely, there are no signs of anything having been stolen. It's possible that everyone fled at the sign of trouble, though it seems to me that they left far too many useful possessions behind. Although there is no conclusive evidence, I strongly suggest that they were tempered. Sorry, I was merely thinking aloud. You mentioned a meeting? I will be making my way there. Cool. Okay, let's talk to Lucia. Thank you for informing the others of our meeting. When everyone is here, we will begin.
Our present situation is as follows. Efforts to aid the people of Garlemald have begun in earnest. Moreover, having entered into the capital, the Imperial Palace is within our reach.
But before we proceed further, we must learn what has befallen this city, for therein lies the key to understanding and combating the Telophoroid's designs.
I have a suggestion, if I may. Several of the Imperial soldiers we captured on the Magna Glaciers are members of the Populares and acquaintances of mine. Once we have cured them of their tempering, they should be able to give a reliable account of the events leading to the capital's downfall.
A promising idea. I will assist the healers and their ministrations. Of course, I will require a proxy of my own, assuming you can spare one.
Would you like a hand?
No, I am sure we will manage. Better that you take my place in the field. The noxious ether of this place disagrees with me, and as I shall need to draw on my own for the treatment, 'twill be prudent for me to remain within the camp.
This talk of curing the tempered is all well and good, but I reckon the cold is a more pressing concern. All the houses round here are fitted with ceruleum heaters that could keep us warm and toasty. Problem is, the machines seem to have given up the ghost, and if we keep sitting around, freezing our asses off, we'll be next. My smiths reckon that with the right parts, they can have them working again, but it won't be easy.
Understood. The machinist will assist them in the repairs.
The rest of us should either stand watch or survey the area.
We've made our presence known to the Telophroi. They will be searching for us, if they have not already ascertained our position. That we have seen no sign of them since the battle suggests they have yet to do so. However, I suspect they may be biding their time.
Or perhaps we are beneath their notice.
In any event, will find no answers standing around here. Urianger, Estinian and myself have visited Garlemald recently, so we'll lead the reconnaissance efforts. Perhaps bolstered by a few Bosnian and Dalmatian scouts from my previous excursion for good measure.
Don't forget about us Alamegans. We have experienced scouts of our own.
Well now, this is turning out to be a rather sizable team. With such numbers, we should be able to cover a wide area with relative ease, including that surrounding the Imperial Palace. How about you, Graha? I have a feeling we'll find a use or two for that vanishing spell of yours.
'Twould be my honor to be of service, though I doubt that you of all people need rely on my tricks.
That leaves us with guard duty.
As a matter of fact, I have something else in mind for the two of you and Alphino. Between here and the center of the capital lies the Eblan Rhine. I would have you search the area for survivors. Your keen sense of direction, honed in your extensive travels, should prove useful in navigating the ice fields.
If there are any survivors, we will surely find them. Sense of travels is something of an understatement, but I suppose if there's nothing else that he's doing. Ice fields. I love ice fields. Oh wait, no I don't.
I have faith that you will, and look forward to greeting you on your safe return. You all have your duties. Let us make haste. May the Fury bless and keep you.
That's a very long quest. Okay, let's talk to Alice. Gods be good. If this... Sorry. If this cold with Tataru's clothing, I dread to think how we'd fare without it. I must remember to thank her when we next meet. It makes me realise too that while the people of Garlemald have spent their whole lives in conditions like these, even they'd be hard-pressed to survive away from the warmth of their homes. If there are any survivors, we must find them, and quickly. That's complete. Cool. Alrighty. I think that's a good time to end this episode. So, thanks for watching. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye, guys. Yeah, 1 hour 17. That was a very long episode. Alright, chat. It's like, I said, yeah, let's do another episode. Probably take half an hour. It's so flippant long. So, yeah. I'm going to go for the day. And then tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow night, we have the Game Awards and it's after midnight. So it's going to be a very, very long stream tomorrow. I need to rest up. I've got pizza to bake and to eat as well. So, alright chat. Well, I hope you have fun today. I am, as you can see, like what, 2/3 to 83? So, yeah. I'm having fun so far. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye. Bye 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 bye.